It have been brought to my attention that you guys don't care what nation I play in my videos, or if I succeed or fail in my attempts to form nations or do whatever. You guys don't care about it. All you want to see is for me to suffer. And that's the only thing that brings you joy. So in one of my recent community posts, 59% of you voted for me to form every single Ethiopian nation in one video. Well, there is 8 nations that you can form as Ethiopia, but today we're only gonna form 7 because I already formed the Horn of Africa in one of my first videos. You can also throw that one an eye after you finish this one. But before we kick it into gear, I want to politely ask you to subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I'm trying to hit 5k subscribers until the end of the year, so you can help me very much with a sub. Thank you for your patience, and let's just begin. First we are gonna form Jima and Gojam, and that's because they are the easiest ones to form. And for that we will have to go with the most boring Ethiopian path, reach out to the Italians. It makes my skin itch just saying this word out loud. And there is our event that will let us form 2 of our nations. We will have to save the game right here, and I will come back to it so I don't have to do this all over again. I'm gonna do the same thing for the Empire of Zion and the Empire of Solomon, by the way. So let's go with the second option first, and with the focus declared for Italy done, we get this event, the Ethiopian Civil War, where we will become Gojam. We become fascist, an Italian puppet. We get this spirit, Victor Emmanuel I of Ethiopia, which is pretty horrible, and we get this guy as our leader, which is also pretty fucking terrible. This is pretty much all that is for this nation. Further down the focus tree, you can either choose to become Italian East Africa and get course on a bunch of territory, or you can choose to break free and consolidate East Africa. This is the most boring Ethiopian path, the weakest one, and as far as I know, there is nothing different between this nation and the other one that you can form from this path. I don't even know why they are considered formable nations, but okay. The grade for Gojam is gonna be a 2 out of 10. I would rather not. So that's 1 out of 7 done. Let's go to the second one. And now we will have to choose the third option. And this is Jima. Pretty much the same thing. You just get a arguably even worse leader. Okay, up to the next. Okay guys, so now we're gonna do rally around the Emperor into the Emperor stays. This path will allow us to form 3 nations. The Empire of Aksum, the Empire of Zion, and the Empire of Solomon. Gonna start researching support weapons 1 and weapons 1. We're not gonna build anything because we're gonna trade our civilian for some steel. We are gonna split our divisions into 2 armies. The north one will have 14 divisions, and we will draw a fallback line, something like this. And we are gonna assign them the mountaineer guy. And the south army will have 7 divisions. We will park it on those southern hills, and we're gonna assign them this hill fighter guy. And this is pretty much it for the start. As soon as you hit 10 PP, you should go to the balance of power and take this decision to recall this guy from retirement. It's gonna take 2 days, and you will get a new general and 1 more division that it's gonna go on the south border. Rally around the emperor is done. That means you can get your emperor as your field marshal. I am also gonna do support local road development to get 1 infrastructure in every state I control. And that's pretty much it for now. I will just have to remember to cycle my divisions in and out of combat if they get low org. Okay, we lost 1 tile. I really don't understand how people can just hold those 3 tiles here. I always get pushed here, so I have to fall back to those other 3 tiles in the back. But it's fine because it's the same exact thing, nothing changes. I hired the infantry specialist, and now I just got an event that gave me 150 PP. So I'm gonna hire the Minister of Finance, mostly for that factory output. We went up with almost 1 more gun a day. I don't understand why, but the Sultanate of Ausa is still alive. I am not complaining, of course, because now I only have to defend those 2 tiles. I am just saying that this is quite unusual. I zoned out for a moment here, thinking about how I will have to play Ethiopia the entire day, and I forgot to reinforce this tile and the Italians took it. It does not make any difference at all, but it just bothers me emotionally. I went on a little walk down south, and by mistake I managed to encircle 2 Italian divisions. Just kidding, wanted to have access to those 2 desert provinces, so my general can also grind the desert fox skill. It's very good to have it if you plan to invade a whole bunch of sand, which I am gonna do eventually. The Italians lost 185k men, by the way. I only lost was 34k, looking pretty good. I am currently working on getting my third research slot. After that I'm gonna do scavenging tactics, and as much as I can do from the industry tree. Yeah, no, the Italians are not very good at all that army stuff and conquering seemingly defenseless nations. I wasn't even trying that hard to encircle them, I just wanted to make them attack me. Just finished Northern Trust and I'm gonna try capturing Eritrea now. There is almost 500,000 Italian casualties and it's mid 38 already, and I kinda ran out of focuses to do. So it's probably time for the Italians to go home. And I just captured the port, which means the end of the Italian army in the north of Ethiopia. The north is clear, now it's time for the south. Well, that's a rather strange naval invasion, Italy, but okay. You can act a little silly, you earned your right for that today. And with this last division, the little Italian adventure in Ethiopia ends in tragedy. Almost 600k dead men, plus those ones, and I am finally doing fait accompli. And we are victorious. We are gonna do King of Kings, Lord of Lords, Elect of God, and restore the Empire of Aksum. Well, the UK decolonized, and conveniently enough, 2 out of the 3 nations that border me choose to remain in the Allies. And can you guess who leads the faction of the remaining British colony? That's right, it's the mighty nation of Malawi, in charge of this huge faction. That includes Canada for some reason. Oh yeah, and currently there is a little disagreement going on in the Balkans. There is only 4 factions fighting each other, and that's because Greece was a little unhappy about the Kosovo-Serbia situation, and they just wanted to take Kosovo for themselves, to end the disagreement once and for all. I have a very big problem now. I am 1 day away from getting a war goal on Yemen. I got my mighty navy ready, a single sub, but I do not have enough convoys for my naval invasion, and literally nobody is selling any convoys. So at the rate at which I am producing convoys, I will probably have to wait until 1945 to be able to invade Yemen. Oh no! Canada snatched the faction from mighty Malawi. That is very mean of you, Canada. The world is just in flames right now. Every faction is just at war with each other. And finally, after 10,000 years, I have enough convoys. Let's just declare war and see what happens. They're probably gonna join the Allies or something like that. I'm not gonna be surprised if that happens. Oh yeah, I'm not even gonna land. Those Yemenis are just too goddamn strong, bro. Well, the Germans are doing alright, I guess, and so is Estonia, but why the fuck are the Dutch green? Who the fuck did this to you, buddy, and why is the Dutch capital in Utrecht? So many questions. I know I said I'm not gonna form this nation, but I got bored, so here it is. I don't remember what I graded it the last time I formed it, but it's the same, it didn't change. Well, if I press the record button, might as well just try invading Yemen again. And no, it doesn't seem like they will fall this time either. Somehow is going even worse. Okay boys, so it's the next day. I took a little break, I needed a psychological evaluation, and it turns out I'm not just a little silly, I am actually schizophrenic, but you don't have to worry about that. I lost about 200,000 men trying to invade Yemen over and over, but then I had an idea. What if I ask Oman very nicely to become my puppet and let me invade them through land? And surprisingly enough, they said yes. So after I pushed 2 tiles and got stuck in the desert with no supply, I managed to naval invade finally. So we can finally restore the Aksumite Empire. We get our beautiful purple color back, we get course on Yemen, Aden, and most importantly the island of Socotra, as well as those 3 states from Sudan. This formable is alright, it loses some points because of how difficult it is to invade Yemen. The Aksumite Empire is gonna get a 7 out of 10, and that is 4 out of the 8 formable nations. I'm gonna wait for this focus to finish, and then we're gonna form those 2. The focus is done. We are now able to form the Empire of Zion. Unfortunately, the Germans refused to give me Jamaica, so I will have to invade it. I got the Dominican Republic and Haiti as my puppets. Cuba refused me, so after we form the empire, we are gonna get another 5 million core population. If you don't know, in order to form this nation, you need to control only Jamaica, but if when you press this decision you control every little Caribbean island, including Curacao and Trinidad, as well as the Bahamas, you get cores on all of them. So you could possibly get another 12 million core population. Adding to your already 18, that's 30. You also get 2.5 million in those 3 states. And you can also core Upper Nile, Uganda and Kenya. And all of this is another 11 million. So you could have a maximum of 41 million. This is pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. But it is a little bit annoying to form and you have better options, so I don't really see the point in single player. But maybe in multiplayer, if you are allowed to play Ethiopia, you could ally the British and somehow acquire all this territory peacefully, which might make for a very fun campaign, but only losers play multiplayer anyway, so what's the point? Okay, let's declare war. And let's create the Empire of Zion. Oh my fucking god. The island of Jamaica has 12 factories, and that's because they were free. And it's a little strange, I thought we were gonna annex those two, but we just got the core. So the Empire of Zion is gonna get a average 5 out of 10, just because of things like this, that you don't annex your puppets. Alright, up to the next. The true heir of Solomon has been proclaimed. Now it's time to conquer the land. Let's go. We need to control the Suez, Sinai and Palestine for that. Fortunately for us, the Germans are distracted in Europe. I pushed the Germans quite a bit, but I got stuck in the middle of Egypt. They are taking heavy casualties and they just declared war on Russia. They are on service by requirement and they only have around 1 million manpower, so they are not gonna be able to keep this up for very long. Unfortunately, I am starting to get in a big deficit of artillery and guns, and that is never fun. And I am also on 0 manpower. Finally managed to break through in Egypt. And that is Palestine conquered. Let's form the Empire of Solomon now. There we go. And with that we also got cores on all of Egypt except this state. And we now have 40 million core population, with the possibility to get 8 more by integrating Uganda and Kenya. I am gonna be completely honest with you guys. The Empire of Solomon is my favorite Ethiopian formable. It's gonna get a 9 out of 10. The one and only problem it faces is the fact that it does not have any fucking resources. You only got 13 fucking steel. What are you even supposed to do with that? And can we talk about this shit? In the Ethiopian focus tree in the industry branch, you have this choice to make between getting your 4th research slot, most likely after the 1940s, and keep in mind you start with 2 research slots and the most you can get is 4, but at this point in the game you are just very fucking behind on technology, so it doesn't even matter if you have a 4th research slot. So I always go for invite foreign prospectors, where you get those 3 decisions and you only have a 25% chance to get steel, which is very little and it doesn't help you that much, but that's what I always choose. But I'm losing the point. The point is, why the fuck do you have to choose between a research slot or some resources? Can't you just give me both? Just please. Okay, but this is gonna be 6 out of 8. And for the last 2 nations, we will have to play Communist Ethiopia. And those last 2 nations are the Anarcho-Communist Union of Africa and the African Union. So I will have to experience all this pain once again. Here we go again, but red this time. We are now communist, we got 5 more free divisions, and we can also create 2 more. We are gonna do a call out to the world next, and we can finally breathe a little, because we have enough divisions now. Ah man, playing Anarchist Ethiopia really feels like having a boner in church. Even if you accept the situation that you find yourself in, you can't help but be sorry for the kids that are watching you. Started pushing a bit. It's going pretty well. And no, I was just kidding. The Italians have finally defected, so now it's the perfect time to push. I am also gonna get renewed offensive and northern trust to help me a little bit with pushing. I'm also pushing the south as well. There we go, I managed to encircle the ports. I've started killing some Yugoslav divisions for some reason, they are here. And most of the Italian army is encircled in the north, so let's just battle plan them. There we go, the Italians have been banished once again. The mighty Ethiopia is victorious. 677k dead Italians. I think this is more than the last time. And also faster. I am now gonna wait for the lessons of war focus to finish, and then I'm gonna do peace negotiations. They never fucking learn. Well, I did the peace negotiations, but nothing happened. I'm still at war with those fuckers, and I did not even get an event or something that said that they refused to peace out with me. So I really don't know what to do now. It's not even fun anymore. The Italians don't have many divisions left, and almost no manpower. I cannot have fun with Ethiopia if I cannot kill any Italians. This is outrageous. There it is, the Anarcho-Communist Union of Africa. What is there special about this nation, you may ask? Well, there is literally nothing special. Actually, this nation is quite a bit worse than just going normal communism, because you get really big debuffs to your political power and stability. Well, I guess the only thing you can get by doing this is infinite manpower. If you do this focus, you get 1k manpower every week. Together with ideological loyalty, that's a lot of manpower. So yeah, this nation is kind of useless. I really like the flag though, so it's gonna get a 5 out of 10. If we cannot peace out with the Italians, maybe just kill them altogether. We got ourselves a unconventional ally, the People's Republic of Greece, and I've just sent my entire army to their country. I just hope I don't lose it. Yeah, I actually cannot take my army to Greece because the Italian navy just sunk a couple of my divisions. I am just gonna sit here in Africa and suffer until the bitter end. Why the fuck is the UK struggling to take Iran and Iraq? They've been at war for a while and they almost took Baghdad, but Iraq pushed them back. Oh, that's why they suck so much. They are led by Mr. Churchill. Italy for some reason declared war on the United Kingdom and they just invited me into the Allies, so I joined. What could go wrong? I am gonna try to sabotage them from the inside. I am almost about to finish the African Union focus and I was just trying to play as the African Union how Paradox intended it, but then I just realized again and again and again that this system is fucking trash. First of all, there is a limit on how many of those decisions can be on the map at the same time, and as I click more appear on the United Kingdom, I thought I'm not able to do those decisions on them since we were in the same faction, but no, apparently there is a limit to how many icons can be on the map. The second thing that bothers me a lot is that you can only do one of those decisions at any time. Just let me do how many I can afford, please. The third very stupid thing is that in order to get a country to rise up, you needed to have 90% average resistance through all of their states. And because of how resistance works in this game, it's practically impossible to make a country that has more than 1 or 2 states rise up, because your little debuff to resistance gain will wear off in one state before the last state you did in the same country reaches the target. For example, if I want to make Kenya rise up, I will never be able to, because it has 4 states and there will never be 90% average resistance in all of them. Another very stupid thing is that a couple patches after the Ethiopian focus tree was added to the game, Paradox made it that every country starts with the occupation law military government. Before that change, everybody started on civilian oversight that does not give you any resistance bonus. So now, for example, on Belgium, I got my decisions on Rwanda and Burundi, which means the maximum amount that resistance can reach is 26%. Well, that's because of martial law, but it's 51% with military governor. And with the other decision that I have, I get an extra 30% resistance. And that it's only 81%, and I need 90 to make Rwanda rise up. So now it's basically impossible to get 95% of those countries to rise up. You still can do it on some places, for example Portuguese Guyana because they don't have any compliance, and all the other Spanish colonies because again they don't have compliance and they are only one state each. But now, the last and the most stupid and annoying thing about this system, even if you somehow get the countries to rise up and the European powers don't just kill them instantly and you manage to make them recognize and peace out with them, you still have to do 3 more decisions on each country. For example, for Liberia, I had to invite them to the defensive agreement, the African Central Bank, and the Organization of African Unity. If I'm not mistaken, those 3 decisions cost 50, 75 and 100 political power. And there is just a random chance for they to accept or they not to accept. You can also ask them infinitely, as much as you have the political power, but that is already 225 PP per country, and this continent has 40 something countries. And judging by the fact that you will probably not get everybody to agree to your proposal every single time, you will probably need somewhere around 10k PP, which is already a lot of fucking political power. But keep in mind that playing the Anarcho-Communist Union of Africa, you only get 0.57 PP per day. And that is not all, because if you get all those countries and use all that 10k PP, you still have to use more PP in order to integrate them. Do you understand how stupid this is? Okay, that was a big fucking rant, I'm sorry for that. But I just got salty because in order to get Liberia as an executive council member, I spent 400 PP, they refused me 3 times. I just want to core the entirety of Africa. Please, Paradox, make it possible for me to core the entirety of Africa. That's all I'm asking. I'm not asking for anything fancy like actually adding resources to Africa or any other kind of flavor. Just let me core it all. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk, guys. Oh, my bad. You don't need PP to integrate the countries. You actually lose 3% stability every time you click this. So that's, yeah, 3% stability, 40 countries, that's 120 stability. Very balanced, Paradox. Oh, my bad, you actually need political power to integrate them. Because that decision does not annex the countries, how I thought it would. It actually makes them into puppets. Ordinary puppets, which you have to downgrade 2 times for 350 political power. So that is another 28k political power. So let's say you want to core the entirety of Africa. Crazy, I know. Why would you want to core this continent when all you get is 100 steel and 50 rubber? I don't know. But let's say you want to do it by playing this path. So you need 40k PP and you get around half a PP per day. So you will need to play this game for 80,000 days. If you are doing focuses at the same time and you haven't used your PP for anything else. So 80,000 days divided by 365, you will only have to play this game for 219 years. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, there it is. I grew the African Union, I annexed Libya. I got 2 shifts from that. Awful, formable nation. Trash, trash, awful, 0 out of 10. I hate this. I hate this so much. But I'm very glad it's over. So that was it, guys. All 8 Ethiopian formable nations in one video, as you asked. Please don't make demands ever again. I want to thank my Patreons for supporting me, and I want you to know that for only $1, your name could be here at the end of every video. Just like those 2 very cool guys, Flossie and Tommy Lea 1. Thank you again, guys. Thank you also, ordinary viewer, for watching until this point. Don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you are not already subscribed, and until next time, I have to go, because I am living in the Japanese shogunate now, and I have to check if those anime girls really exist. So I have to go. Bye.